clean up, everybody everywhere, clean up. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. How you doing? What's that? What am I doing? Oh, I'm just putting all my tools away. I was playing around with my go-kart. Oh, you haven't heard? I bought a go-kart. Check it out. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Kids dig it. My wife, sorry. My wife, she's surprisingly on board. Mostly. Why don't we go over there and take a look? Let me just finish putting my screwdrivers away. So, check it out. Luke picked up a Yerf dog. Got it at a yard or Craigslist listing. It's a 2-seater, right? Boom, boom. It's pretty nice. They're woo. Okay, so it's got mounts 1, 2, 3, 4 for a roll cage and 5. But talk to the people who I bought it from. I'm like, hey, where's the roll cage? They're like, the people who had it before just chucked it. They threw the go-kart out. I know why. But they threw it out upside down. And so the roll cage got bent out of commission, not reusable, blah, blah, blah. So let's take a look here. What we have here, we have a Tecumseh 5 horsepower. Let me get you situated here. Sorry, trying a new setup with the camera, and not really great at it quite yet. So we got a Tecumseh 5 horse pushing this Yerf Dog 2-seater, and it does a pretty good job. I mean, it moves. It's a one wheel. It's not a live axle, right? So only one wheel drive over. Well, Luke, why is your air box completely open? Well, that's why they threw it out, I think. The engine runs just fine, idles just fine, but due to being a go-kart, you can't run it at a consistent rate, especially on a yard. This thing has no shocks, so you start getting rattling, you back off the throttle. So what's been happening, turn her off. What's been happening is, let's see if I can bring you over here a little bit. Whoop. What's been happening is my carburetor, can you see it? The old diddly style carb. What's happening is the carb is flooding and it's just leaking right out of here. So what I ended up doing is pulling off the airbox, thinking it's just trying to look, right, without having to take anything apart, just trying to look. And fuel, I would open up the throttle gate in the carb and I could see fuel, fumes, and etc. just pouring out. So she floods. The carburetor floods, and that's why they threw it out. Why does it flood? Well, I don't know. I haven't been into it yet, mostly because I don't want to spend any money on it. And I'm afraid if I pull the carb off, I'm going to ruin a gasket. This gasket, I'm not really too concerned about. This one, between the carb and the airbox, I'm also not too concerned about. Frankly, it's the bowl gasket, which, I don't know if you can see that. Let me get you up there. Focus. Focus. The bowl gasket, a bit on the crushed and pushed around side. It's like just hanging out over here. So, a couple things. A, it's not in good shape. I don't think the gasket's the problem, but I know that if I take the, come on, focus. I'm concerned that if I take the bowl off, oh, focus, you jerk. If I take the bowl off, the gasket will be screwed up. I won't be able to get it back on and gasketed properly. So I have gasket maker. see if I can get you to focus. I have gasket maker, RTV, but you know, I don't want to RTV a bowl gasket, you know. I will if I have to. I bought some new air filters because this air filter's borked. I mean, it gets loaded up with gas. What happens when you are on the throttle hard and you let off the throttle, and I ran it without the air box on it at all, and I could actually see just poof, just gas air mixture just puffing out here. Not great, but what's happened is it's soaking the air filter and it's just not getting any air in there, besides the fact that there's too much fuel that's not getting burnt. So even running it with the air box off, I managed to stall it out, but flood it out. The other thing is the idle mixture button thing right in here was totally cranked down. I loosened it up a little bit and it manages to keep itself alive a little better, but it's a little bit harder to start. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. Why don't I want to spend any money on the engine? Well, the frame's in fantastic shape. It'll rattle the fillings out of your teeth, but the frame's in great shape. Wheels in great shape. The chain is still really nice. I put a little oil on there and it's loosey-goosey, just like it should be, right? The brakes leaves a little bit to be desired, but it's one wheel brake. My yard's not that big. I'm not going too fast. I don't want to pour any money into the engine because what do people do with these? What do you guys do with these? You go to Harbor Freight, you buy a 212cc Predator and you throw it on here. It's a 6.5 horse. Right there, I'd be going from 5 to 6.5 horse, even governed. Yes, this has a governor. I've played with the governor settings. It was set a little aggressive on the throttle. So what would happen is you'd hit the gas and the wheel would just, right, and I'm tearing up my yard. I'm not going to show you, but trust me. So I backed that off a little bit. It's a much smoother acceleration, slower, but smoother. It's more controllable, more manageable, which will be nice when my 12-year-old gets on here. She won't be digging ditches in the yard. But I don't want to spend 30 bucks on a new carburetor because 100 bucks gets me a brand new engine. So I'm going to fiddle with it. At some point, I'm just going to pull the carb, play with it, clean it. Stick around for that. That's going to be my first step. The very first thing, sorry, that's going to be my next step. The very first thing, I'm going to try a new air filter. It's not going to make a difference. I'm going to try breathing, open up breather holes in this air filter. Not going to make a difference. I don't expect. It's going to be in the carb. So I'm going to, in a little bit here, I'm going to do a video on cleaning out the carb and seeing. I don't even want to spend the 10 bucks on gaskets, you know, like it just, I've already spent 7 bucks on air filters, 10 bucks on gaskets, blah, blah, blah. At what point should I have just spent the 100 bucks for a brand new running 6.5 horse engine? Other than that, even the steering linkage looks to be in great shape. There's a little rust on some of the nuts, but that is literally the only rust that I'm finding on this thing. It needed some bolts tightening up here and there, but other than that, man, it'll move. Anyway, hey, I got a go-kart. This is going to be the subject of a couple videos for you guys. I might even take you along for a ride if I can get a proper mount. Like I said, this thing will rattle the fillings out of your teeth. It's freaking fun, though. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Luke. I'm an amateur. Now I'm an amateur go-karter. This one didn't take an hour. But hey, stick around. I'm going to have more videos coming up on fiddling with the carb. Drop me a comment. Drop me a like on whether you want to see more of this stuff and what you think I can do to fix this carb. Tell me what you think I can do to fix this carb. Catch you later.